At the beginning of the film, we see that a flight is canceled at an Idaho airport due to an impending thunderstorm, and this disrupts the plans of many passengers. Among them are Surgeon Ben, who is late for an urgent operation, and journalist Alex, who has to be on time for her own wedding. She comes up with the idea of using a small private plane to get over a mountain ridge and to get everything done. She needs a partner in this venture to cut costs. An elderly pilot named Walter takes it upon himself to get them there. But on the flight, the man got sick, and the plane crashes. The passengers miraculously survive. Ben tries to bring the injured pilot to his senses, but nothing helps, and he buries him. The morning shows a bleak outlook, as they are all alone in the deserted mountains. Alex is a little out of sorts. Her leg is broken, her phone is broken, and Ben has no connection. Ben himself is little hurt, with only bruises and a couple of broken ribs. They want to find the plane's search beacon, but they don't know where to look for it. They have enough food to last them until the rescue team arrives. And there's plenty of water. They can melt the pure mountain snow. So, according to Ben, it's not all bad. Except that the dead pilot didn't include his flight in the flight plan. When they see a plane flying past, they launch a signal rocket, but it is too late. The airliner is flying past. Alex screams as hard as she can, even though no one in the plane can obviously hear them. They find anything that can burn and build a fire in the wrecked plane. Alex laments that her fiancé doesn't know she's alive. She didn't tell him she was going to fly on a private jet. She asks if her traveling companion told anyone before the flight about her plan. The man sadly replies that he didn't. Ben grabs his camera and goes to investigate. Alex says she'll understand if he doesn't come back. This shocks the surgeon, because if he had wanted to stay away, he would have left 3 days ago. Alex stays with the dead pilot's dog and talks to it, for lack of other interlocutors. Finding Ben's phone, she listens to recorded messages from some woman who is clearly close to him. Suddenly, the dog barks desperately. A mountain cougar is trying to get in. He runs outside and holds the predator back a bit. After a confrontation with the dog, the cougar intends to prey on the man. However, Alex manages to finish it off with a rocket launcher. Ben at this time falls off the cliff and slides down the snowy slope towards the abyss. But at the last moment, the fall stops. A protruding rock stopped him. Back at the plane, the man isn't particularly pleased that now they have no way to make a sign of themselves. Outside, he hasn't been able to catch a mobile phone signal either. Ben is treating the dog's wounds. Alex asks him about his wife and children, but he answers reluctantly. Sitting near the fire again, they eat some food, trying to stretch their supplies for as many days as possible. Alex doesn't believe that help will come to them in these remote mountains. She thinks they should head downhill, but Ben has a different point of view. They start to quarrel, and he accuses the woman of being the one who got him into this adventure and calls her a weight hanging around his neck. She tries to apologize, but it comes out badly. So, while Ben sleeps, Alex, along with the dog, limps off down the slope. She leaves a note for the man. When he wakes up, he is angry with her, but there is nothing to do. He has to follow her. On the way, Alex, true to her journalistic habit, takes pictures of everything around her. The going is hard, but she has no intention of giving up. Finally, Ben catches up with her. Both are happy to see each other. They decide to continue downwards, trying to reach the forest area. Ben asks her about the wedding to give her some encouragement. He also tells her about himself, that he works as a neurosurgeon. They go below and reach the trees. The unfortunate friends find a suitable cave and decide to spend the night there. They build the fire again. Alex's leg is swollen, but Ben says that everything is fine. They cuddle together to keep warm. Ben confesses that he found the search beacon and it was completely broken. The man is convinced that they have to be together to survive. Alex apologizes for his stupid trick. Finally, both fall asleep, with Ben holding Alex's hand in his and gently stroking it. In the morning, Alex takes a picture of the surroundings and sees a tiny speck. It could be anything, but they have to go and check it out. The crash victims have only 3 days worth of food left. Alex finds it strange that the man avoids talking about his wife. Soon, the travelers come to a dead end, for there is a waterfall ahead. They have to look for a detour, but Alex doesn't want to go back. Because of this, they quarrel again. The woman in despair asks Ben if he believes that they can be saved. To this, the man honestly answers that it is unlikely, but there is still a small chance because they are still alive, despite everything. A check of the phone shows that there is still no signal, but there is little charge left. By the night fire, the travelers are leaning against a rock, trying to stay strong. Alex begs Ben to switch on the music on his phone, which he listened to at the airport, and he gives in to her request. In the morning, Ben asks for a picture of him, even if it's his last photo. Alex tells him that on her last trip, she got close to a group of female fighters to write an article about them, and befriended one of them. Alex took her picture a few seconds before she was killed. That's why she refuses to take Ben's picture. Trying not to give up, they wander along the plateau and even play with the dog. Suddenly, the dog, whimpering, finds something in the snow. It turns out to be a piece of food. Excited, Ben rushes forward and sees a real house hidden under the snow. But before his eyes, Alex, who has been left behind, suddenly falls through the snow. It turns out that they are on the ice of some water. The man runs back and pulls her out from under the ice. After bringing the unconscious woman into the house, he puts her on the bed. The dwelling is in bad shape, and it seems to be abandoned for a long time. The roof has fallen in some places, and there is no heating. But there is a fireplace. Ben talks to Alex, who won't wake up. He finds a syringe of snakebite medicine, pours it out, and prepares a saline solution to save her from dehydration. At his own risk, he gives her the injection, convincing himself that Alex would approve of such an act. After a while, the lady regains consciousness. Finding herself lying on the bed, Alex asks if they have been saved already. Ben has to tell her that it's not, but they have reached the very house she saw in her camera lens. Now the plan is, there are 2 cans of soup in the house, and they wait out the weather before moving on. Ben promises his companion to find the way home, no matter what it takes. He tirelessly chops wood for the fireplace and, together with his dog, tries to catch prey. But the brave hunters fail. Alex is listening to the recordings on his dictaphone at this time. The returning Ben is angry about this. The lady makes the excuse that they could die here, and she doesn't even know him properly. Well, the man suggests she switch the recorder back on and listen to the whole thing again. Eventually, it turns out that his wife left him. Alex hugs him, trying to comfort him. They both feel a little better. She kisses him in a friendly way, and suddenly there is a spark between them. In an abandoned house, the 2 wanderers stay alone. While Ben is asleep, Alex still takes his picture, thus recognizing their hope of salvation. She asks him to move on and leave her alone in the house. That way, he can find help faster. Ben tells her that his wife didn't leave him, but died of cancer. She became his patient, but the doctor was unable to save her. This tape was her goodbye. Soon, Ben tries to leave, but comes back for Alex. He's not going anywhere without her. And now they are walking again in a blizzard to an unknown destination, falling waist deep in snowdrifts. Alex is tired, so Ben makes skids out of twigs and drags her along. At a rest stop under a large pine tree, they fall asleep, exhausted. A dog barks and pulls at Ben's clothes, causing him to fall down the slope and wake up. Up ahead, he sees the smoke of a nearby village. At last, they have reached human habitation. At the snow are the tracks of a recently passed all-terrain vehicle. This means that rescue is near. Alex cries, afraid of being deceived in his hopes. Somehow they go further, but the woman doesn't want to go on without the dog. Ben has to go looking for the dog that has run away, and he accidentally gets his foot caught in a trap. Alex can't open the trap, so he tells her to go get help, because it's not far away. She goes down to the village, sees a lorry coming towards her, and falls in front of it. Ben wakes up in a hospital ward. Barely awake, he looks for Alex. She's there, and she's all right. The lady thanks him for everything, and he hugs her. And then Mark, Alex's fiancé, walks into the room. The men shake hands. It's over. They're finally saved. Ben recovers, goes back to work, and takes the dead pilot's dog. But why is he so depressed? At a noisy party amongst friends, Alex is also missing. She remembers Ben, and one day she decides to call him, but he hangs up on the voicemail. Mark tells her how he's been through losing her, but Alex isn't impressed by this. One night, she wakes up from a nightmare and decides to finally develop the photos she took in the mountains. One picture she sends to Alex. After seeing that picture, he calls her back. They meet at a restaurant and talk about their lives, forcedly, without any intimacy between them. Ben is impressed by the beauty of his former traveling companion. She looks very different now than she did in the mountains. Ben finds out that Alex doesn't marry Mark. It turns out that he isn't the man she wanted to live her whole life with. She blames Ben for not returning her calls. He justifies that he didn't want to disturb her and Mark. It was hard for him to lose his love again. Alex thought in the mountains that she loved him, but now she's not so sure. Ben assures her that they only survived because they fell in love, but she leaves anyway, sobbing as she does so. It's not easy for both of them to part, and halfway through, they return, throwing themselves into each other's arms. This is the end of the film. Thank you all for watching this video to the end. Give this video a like. Write in the comments what you think about this film, and see you in new videos.